Hi everyone, Sunny with Rooted in Botanicals. So today I'm going to try my Snowflake soap again. If you remember from the last video, it came out green. I'm changing the fragrance this time, so hopefully it won't discolor and it will remain blue. So this video is more about making the actual soap than just the pouring of it. So right here I have in my jar tallow, coconut oil, and mango butter, and I'm going to stick that in my pot back here, which is a double boiler, and get that melted. And in the meantime, I'm going to put together my soft oils. So in this recipe I use olive oil, sweet almond oil, and castor oil as my soft oils. So I'm going to go ahead and get them poured in my container. So that's all of my soft oils in there. My goat milk was frozen. I'm going to put goat milk in it. It's raw goat milk. So as soon as that thaws out, I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for this, I'm going to go ahead and get my scent together. So these scents are from Midwest Fragrance Company. And this time I'm going to use a combination of Silent Snowfall and Coastal Waters. So the Silent Snowfall really smells exactly like you're standing out after fresh snow. You get that ozone. And the Coastal Waters gives it just a little bit of, oceany smell. Anyway, together they smell really good. So, and they are not supposed to discolor. So I guess we'll see. So for the Silent Snowfall, we're going to do 60%. And the Coastal Waters makes up 40% of the total. Smells good. Okay, so my goat milk is melted. Go ahead and put that in. All right, I got my gear on. I'll pour my lye in my container. I like to batch my lye, which means I make it as a 1-to-1 ratio ahead of time so that it's easier when it comes time to use it. And I'm going to add some sodium lactate to it. Sodium lactate is a salt. Helps your soaps harden faster. And when I do individual molds, especially when I do individual molds, I like to use it because it helps them release out of the mold. My tallow and coconut oil and mango butter are all melted. So first I'm just going to mix together my goat milk into my oils, my soft oils, get that mixed up, and then I'm going to add in the hard oils that I melted and mix that up, and we'll see what the temperature is. I like to stir it while I'm pouring in the hot oil because the goat milk is in there. I don't want it curdling, so it's kind of tempering it. $105. That's a little too hot for me. I like to mix my soaps up when they're a lot cooler than this, like in the 80s. So we're going to let this cool down. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get my colors together. So I use Ocean Blue Kale and Clay powder for the blue, and I use titanium dioxide for the white. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon of both in there. And I just put a little bit of distilled water in, mix them up. get them liquefied. So I'm going to go ahead and put my blue into this container. So when I separate it out, I put, it'll end up being about 1,000 grams of batter together. So I'll put about 450 in here, and then in my big bowl, I'll go ahead and put the TD into the rest of it. All right, so the oils have cooled down. They're at 84. Which is good. My lye is at room temperature, so I'll give this a mix. So I got my hood on. I'm sorry if it makes it a little difficult to hear me. But I always wear it when I'm dealing with the lye. So go ahead and pour this in. Put it through the strainer just in case there's some chunks in there, since I do batch. That'll get all of that out. But that's okay this time. So I just want it to emulsion, which is when the oils and the lye blend together. And that's it. Because if you keep doing it after that, it goes to what we call trace, which is thickening up. And then it makes it a lot more difficult to add the stuff in. That's as much as I'm going to do there. Alright, now I'm going to measure off. I just had about 450 grams into my blue. I like to hand mix my colors and my scents in, because the more you stick blend, the thicker it gets. And that's not what I want. So it looks pretty good on the blue. And so, you can see it's already thickening up. This is what we call trace. And you can see the trace that the utensil makes through it. So I'm going to go ahead and add my TD in. That's my white. Alright, so I'm mixing this in. Typically, if it starts to thicken up on you, if you mix it pretty good, just give it a good stir, it'll loosen up. So since this scent is not supposed to discolor, I'm actually going to add about half and half. So and that's interesting. Looks like it's ricing, which means that it's creating clumps. So I guess I'm going to have to stick blend it a little bit to try and get that out. And with it this thick, it's not going to pour very well. But oh well. I'm guessing it's the coastal water that did it, because I've used the silent snowfall before on other stuff without any issues. Alright, let's just get it in there and pour it. Well, not really the look I was going for, but we'll see how it goes. These are going to glop in. Definitely not smooth. And because it thickened up so much, I'm not going to get everything for that last soap. Probably because it's all over my mold everywhere else. Alright, so I am going to cover these up and put a couple blankets over it. What that does is causes it to keep the heat in. It heats up more, goes through gel phase. But when you use clays, that helps keep the colors better. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then tomorrow we'll look and see what these end up looking like. Seems like I just can't get this one right for my peeps. Thanks.